Hi, it's Ursula from ursula-smith.com, and today I'm going to be playing around with two Gelli plates and a Yupo paper stencil that I cut on the silhouette, and some paint. So thanks for joining me, and here comes the experiment. So I'm back, and I have my two Gelli plates, and you can see I've done some work on these already, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some different colors of ink and roll them out. And then on this one, I'll go with blues. I like to try to do somewhat contrasting colors. And these Amsterdam pinks are pretty thick. They're kind of like the heavy body goldens. So usually I try to work with a thicker body, but I usually try to add in some extra fluid along with the heavier body just to make it roll a little bit easier. And so you're just going to roll out the ink, or the paint, sorry, on, just trying to get rid of that blob. And then usually what I do is I take a scrap piece of paper and I just roll off the ink. You could use two different brayers if you have one. And in this case, it's some of the paint from the other one is still mixing in. That's fine. If you really wanted to keep them separate, then you could use two different brayers, or really make sure you're cleaning off really well. And then you're going to take your stencil and you're going to lay it down on one plate, and then you're going to take the other one and try and line it up and lay it down on top. And press down, so you're basically trying to transfer the paint from one to the other. And lift your stencil off. And then usually what I do is I just put the plates kind of together and then take a full sheet of paper, and I'm actually going to put a scrap piece on top because I still have paint on here, so I don't really want to let it go to waste. So roll that off, and then roll across. You can use your hands for this step too if you'd rather do it that way. And so you're just basically transferring the image onto the piece of paper, and then you're going to lift off, and what you end up with is the paints kind of mix, so you get some transfer of the colors onto the other side. Usually one gets more than the other, so the one on top typically gets a little less transfer because it's only getting the paint that's coming through the stencil. But anyway, you get lots of different, you never know how it's going to come out, but you get lots of cool looking effects. And then if you don't like the white space, a lot of times what I'll come through once it's dry, when I've done this in another video, is I come back in with the Distress Spray Stains and spray through, and wherever the paper is, the ink will stick, but then you can wipe it off the paint. And like I said, I have a video on that one too. So anyway, I hope you like that technique. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Hi, I'm back, and I just wanted to show you, so this I had a lot more paint on, and so you can see there's less white space. Similar colors, like this had a little more green in it, then this side was more of yellow and brown. So that was one experiment. And then this one was really cool. Same type of thing where you get a lot of white space on one side, but you get a lot of mixing of colors on the other. So definitely different looks with the same technique. And you never know how it's going to turn out, but it's a pretty fun way to make some cool backgrounds. So once again, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.